Welcome to episode 17 of Tifosi Time, where we talk about all things Serie A related. A lot of Juventus in there as well. We are here for you guys. So if you guys are fanatical soccer fans, want to talk about it weekly basis, the games, make sure you subscribe. Hit us up. We want you in the conversation. My name's Frank. Say hello, fellas.
Hello there. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Sorry, I forgot it was New Year already. One day at work, and I feel like it's July already.
Yeah.
Good deal. All right. So a lot of stuff to talk about, fellas. Where do you want to start?
Where we always start. We always start about talking about Juventus. Hopefully our one fan is here so he can actually hear the part about Juventus.
I don't actually see the chat, so
it's there. I see it. So let's talk about see, he just said hi.
There he is.
Parola. We can always count on Parola.
Our biggest fan.
Yeah.
We're actually just do this just so we can talk to him. It's like reverse psychology.
Oh, Twitter spoke, by the way, about our teams. You know, I posted all of our teams. I went off of most likes, and let me tell you, I got the most likes.
Shut up.
Yeah, I think you probably
3 likes. You guys got 1 and none, I think. So I am the winner. Okay.
Well, in fairness, I haven't even followed us on Twitter, so.
All right, let's get to the game. Let's start with the Juventus game. I think we have a graphic. I made that. 4-1 winners. I think we all predicted a win for Juventus, right? And it was kind of a must-win game for them, considering they're 10 points behind first place. And actually, at the time of the game, everyone else had played already, so they were 13 points behind. So that's a little added pressure for them, and they got the job done. It wasn't really a struggle, I would say, during the whole game. I mean, other than the beginning where DePaul's goal, DePaul scored a goal, and it got called back because of a handball, which was kind of
my team, by the way.
He was on your team.
He was on everyone's team.
Well, Mike, no, he wasn't on mine. My goalie gave up 4 goals in that game. So, I mean, as far as that call, you guys saw the play. Right? What do you guys think about the whole handball from the first part of the play that they called back? You know.
So here's the thing. I mean, I agree. I think they talked about it on the broadcast too. Like, I think they're interpreting the rule right. I think it's a problem with the rule, not so much VAR.
They have to fix the wording.
Yeah, I mean, it did hit his hand, and it led to a goal. So technically, that's the rule. But his hand was, if I remember correctly, his arm was pushed.
Well, that's the thing. Like, he was getting like pulled and pushed and stuff, and didn't really have full control of his hand. So I feel for him there. But yeah, going by the letter of the law, then yeah, it shouldn't have been a goal. So
Ramsey's was even worse to me. The one that they took away from Ramsey was on the floor, and it rolled into, like, as he was falling. Put your hand down to brace yourself, and it hit his arm.
Yeah, again, not intentional, but if you're going by the letter of the law, then you have to call that one too. I'm fine, I guess, with either or. I mean, I say that now, but if Juventus would have tied 1-1, I would have been pissed.
Well, here's my thing about the rule. It's almost like they just think like the referees are stupid, so they're like, we're going to take away any human element to it. So it's just like, if it hits it, intentional or not, it counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they try to dumb it down as much as possible, but at the same time, they just make it more complex sometimes and harder to understand because it's too dumb, you know?
And I just don't like how it chops up the game, honestly. Like, I don't like it. It's like previously, it's like, okay, there was a bad call. The fans would get really pissed about it. You would debate about it. You'd have something. Now it's like the game stops for 5 minutes. It ends up being a bad call anyway. It's like, and I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan.
Yeah, I mean, they're always going back for it. Even Parola said, they're going back and forth with always changing and, tweaking the rules. I'm sure there'll be different language next year before the next season starts. There always is. But besides that, because I just wanted to mention that because DePaul, they did have the lead. And, you're thinking, oh, God, Juventus is going to go down 13 points possibly and not be able to come back from that. But, they take that goal away. Juventus comes back. Ronaldo scores. Pretty nice finish. and they just didn't really look back from there. 3 goals. Udinese scored in the 90th minute, and then Dybala finally got his, a little back on track, getting a goal back.
So a couple of things. Ronaldo, great finish, right? The first one.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome pass to Keza. Keza,
Yeah.
I mean, he's fast, right? That's his game, right? Blow by him. He just needs to work on his finishing, and he did that game, right?
Yeah, he finished it well, actually. And the pass was nice from Ronaldo. He actually underhit it a tiny bit, like the way he hit it, but like Chiesa beat his man, and
that was perfect. And he just burned him, man. There was no catching up. That was perfect. I want to comment on how awesome Szczesny is, man. Holy crap. What happened on that goal? I can't stand that guy anymore.
Wait, remind me, because I told him I'm going through my Alzheimer's moment here. What? Remind me again?
He fumbled in the 6th, and what the hell even happened? I don't even know.
Yeah,
no, it was a cross. Wasn't it a low cross across that he dove at the guy's foot?
Yeah, what's he doing? That's my point.
Well, he was trying to break up the pass.
That shouldn't have went in, man. They should have had the shutout.
I mean, we've been saying it week after week. Our faith in Szczesny is really, really dwindling week by week here. Like, I don't know. I just don't have any confidence in him coming up in a big game or a big spot. I don't know.
Obviously, he's not the worst goalie ever, but I don't know. I
say sign Donnarumma.
So the question is, so the question is who are you going to replace him with, right? Like Donnarumma, depends how much money they want for him, right? And it's and don't forget, just a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, Donnarumma was couldn't block low shots.
We're not talking about a year.
Oh, we lost Dan. We I don't know what happened to Dan, but oh, there he is.
There he is.
My stream died. I don't know what happened.
We'll talk about Milan a little later, right?
Yeah.
But his improvement, he's freaking great, man.
No, he's made a lot of improvement. He's still not the best with his feet. He sucks, and he can't go out well on crosses.
He's the best goalie in the league. That's what I was saying before I dropped. You want the best, you go after him.
And he's Italian and he's young, right? And that's why I wanted him when he was 18. And I think Parola was telling me, he's overrated, right? But you know what? We do have a better goalie than him already. It's Buffon. I agree. We could just put Buffon in and be fine. I mean,
all right, let's go back to the actual game. A couple things that we have to remember. Quadrado was out from the red card. So you saw Danilo step in on the right, Sandro on the left. And actually after the game, we'll talk about it, but Sandro now tested positive for COVID, so he's not going to be in for the midweek game against Milan. Morata didn't play because of a thigh injury he picked up in training, so Dybala gets another chance. It's not like Dybala is not getting his chances. Like he's playing decent amount of football. But it was nice to see him get a goal, even if it wasn't like the flashiest or
I still don't think he played that great though. Right?
No, I don't think so either. That's the thing. Yeah, he played okay.
The thing about Dybala right now, he's scrapping to get some type of confidence, right? So where I appreciate it is he could easily be a number 10 who just sulks and goes, okay, this isn't my team anymore. I'm not going to run. I'm going to wait to try to get traded out of here. But if you saw him, he was actually pressing, even the last 10 minutes of the game, he was running, trying to win the ball. Cause you could say he wants to show that he's better than his stats say and better than his season's going.
Of course, he's also playing for a contract. It's not like he's not motivated. And he's been put as the captain, substitute captain, all that kind of stuff. He's with the team. He's not
But you can't take that for granted. That doesn't always happen.
No, it doesn't. Right? It's not like Eriksen. Eriksen, an Inter,
right?
Completely
perfect example.
Yeah,
he could say, you know what? I'm young. I'm the next guy in line for Argentina. I don't need to be wasting my time here and dealing with your crap.
For sure.
Go play.
Yeah, totally. I was impressed with Bentancur.
Me too. I was going to say that.
Last game, I mean, the play on one of the goals where he stepped up, intercepted the pass, looked around, gave the through ball. I mean, that was Bentancur that, we know, the Bentancur we love. So I thought he played pretty well.
I thought Chiesa played pretty good. I think, again, doing a lot of running. Listen, when you look at Juventus, it's the same thing we could predict, right? Our offense, our forwards, when you include the wings and everything, we're just as good as any team in Europe, right? Look at our players. Our midfield and our defense, quite frankly, isn't up to the top. Let's be real. game, you get one or two guys playing good, another two that just fall, and that's what's going to make or sink our season.
Well, so if you noticed with the defense how bad they got burnt against Fiorentina, Vlahovic burned by them. If you noticed during the game, Udinese has a lot of fast forwards. Like when they got the ball in midfield, De Ligt and Bonucci started running backwards as soon as they got the ball.
I was going to say that
because they didn't want to get burned.
Yeah, but that's a problem, right? Like that's also, I think, on the DePaul goal that got taken away, where he made that run. Mm-hmm. That's because the defenders were backtracking, and then all of a sudden DePaul got the return pass.
Yes, right? That's what they have to deal with the speed that they have in the central defense. They don't want to get burned like they got burned last week.
Bonucci's got a freaking beer gut. What do you expect?
Hey, we did get some Chiellini minutes there at the end, which is good.
Yeah.
It was funny. Right then, before the game, me and Dan were watching, and like all you see is Buffon, Chiellini, and Pizzoli just shooting the shit. All three of them, like old timers. It was fun to watch. It was cute.
It was cute. Hey, fellas, you're doing cute.
Yeah, I mean, but as far as the game, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's another element where I say Buffon got voted amongst his peers the best goalie of all time by the other goalies, right? Mm-hmm. Which is great, but that's another element. We rag on Szczesny, but he does not coordinate the defense the same way Buffon does.
Dude, so really quickly, you watch Milan play, Donnarumma's screaming at everyone the whole time. Szczesny's sitting there. I don't know what he's doing.
And that's what I was going to say. Like, we know Chiellini did a lot for Bonucci, right? But I also wonder, having Buffon there, like waking people up in the first 10 minutes when they're like letting guys wide open, yelling at them. Like, you're not going to ignore Buffon, right? So I just wonder if that's another reason.
I mean, I was saying it as like a fan's perspective. Like he doesn't exude confidence in me as a fan that he's like uplifting the team and he's all there, but like even for the other players, like I don't see them like with the respect that they had for Buffon or anyone else. Like he doesn't. It's hard. I don't know. Maybe he's too timid, too scared to like yell and scream or direct. I don't know, but it's just he doesn't have that same it factor.
Yeah, and the only fairness I'll say to him is that we are comparing him to probably the best goalie ever in terms of the longevity and how long he's played. But so that listen, he's a good goalie. Right, teams have a lot of worse goalies than Szczesny. He's just not someone I'm like, yes, pencil him in. I'm gonna win, right? Like, he's okay.
Mm-hmm. Any other thoughts on the actual gameplay? Like McKinney, what do you guys feel about McKinney?
Not one of his best.
Yeah, it wasn't not one of his best.
Not one that stood out.
I'll say, like, even though they won 4-1, I didn't really get a whole lot of confidence that, we turned a corner.
No.
Right? To me, it's just another example of we played a worse team, we won. That, this game versus Milan is going to mean a lot. Right? Can they head-to-head, can they beat them? Can they give them their first win and make a statement? Or do we lose? Do we leave points until we tie? Like, you have to come in, you have to take the 3 points without Morata. Without Sandro, I want to see what happens this week.
I mean, no Sandro is really not a loss for me in my eyes. He doesn't really. I mean, when he first came to Juventus, the offense, the flying up the wing, he doesn't do it anymore.
No, he doesn't. That first
his crosses are terrible. He doesn't advance. I don't know. He's just there to me. So that's
been why the last 2 years we said we should be selling Sandro. Yeah. No one will take him. But also who's we have as an alternative from Botta, like he's okay, but it's not exactly a game breaker either.
No, but I'd be happy with putting Danilo out there now. Just throw him out there. And I don't need.
Assuming that you have Quadrado back, you mean?
Yeah, I mean Quadrado is back. He just suspended one game, so if you have Danilo, De Ligt, Bonucci, and Quadrado, I'm satisfied with that defense. I don't need.
Yeah, I mean we're still halfway through the season, and our most consistent defender has been Danilo all year.
Yeah. For sure.
If you really look at it. So
I mean, would you think that before?
No. We were begging for them to sell Danilo. No. And I not even that I liked who's the guy they traded for him? I can't remember his name for a sec.
Cancelo.
Cancelo. Not that I was over the moon for him either, but just when that trade happened, like, yes, you got money, but like Danilo, nobody wanted him. Like, he was exiled at Manchester. Like, they didn't want him. He sucked. So, but he's done like a complete 180 from where he was.
He's proved us all wrong. There's some comments there, and we were definitely right. And well, that's what's good about this podcast, right, guys? If you guys are watching and you like Serie A, like we're gonna call it how it is. We don't just make enemies, and we ragged on Danilo for a long time, but he's been really good the first half of the year.
You have announcers kissing Bonucci's butt, and he's my least favorite player in the world. So
yeah.
Yes, sure. that take it to the bank. Bonucci will get shit on every week. All right. Do you guys want to? Did anyone stand out for you guys on Udinese? Did anyone pop out for you or?
So really quickly, I read this before. I don't know. Pusetto got hurt apparently as ACL injury. That kind of sucks because he was playing well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it kind of blows.
Yeah. Pusetto's been playing well for them this year. That's a blow for them because they don't have a lot of offense to begin with. So to lose him is
I mean, for me, their best players, and that's using that lightly, was probably Zagler and Samir. I thought played okay, but like nothing amazing.
They have some talent, but I don't know. They got to put it
Paul
together.
played okay. You know, he did his thing, but
yeah. And Lasagna, I think, I don't know. Is he overrated? I don't know if people like him. I don't think he's that good. But
yeah,
he wasn't dangerous. You know, like that's the thing. Like you have to somewhat be able to make yourself dangerous if you're on a team that's.
Yeah, and he uses his speed, and if he doesn't get the balls, then it's hard for him to, he's not going to do much more than, run down the field. So, I wasn't impressed with them. I wasn't expecting to be impressed with them. All right, do you guys want to move to another game? So Morata, just to give a heads up, Morata is out and Sandro is out. Everyone else should be good to go for the game Wednesday.
I cannot believe they're playing Wednesday. 2 days, Monday, Tuesday off, and then they have to play Wednesday.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
And what time is the game Wednesday?
2:45.
They have the 2:45 game. Yeah, they have the mark.
I will have to watch that on DVR, I guess.
I guess. All right, let's go to the next one, Dom. I don't know which one you got there. Just throw one up and we'll talk about it. Oh, all right. This game was fun to watch.
I mean,
go ahead.
I think you know what I'm going to say. How bad is Kirikesh?
Kirikesh scored a goal. What are you talking about, man? He's a stud.
He is legit one of the worst defenders in the league. He had a terrible game.
He's a lot of times he's the type of defender who's near the ball, always just close enough to be like blamed for the goal.
Yeah,
but never enough to like break it up. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
I mean, that being said, he is guarding, Zapata, who, I mean, he's been great all season. Now he's finally putting goals away, finishing, right? But like as far as like a complete forward, holding the ball up, passing, Zapata is awesome, man. He is one of the best.
Yeah, no, I mean, so I actually manhandled him a few times.
Yeah,
I actually thought this was a really. I didn't expect this score. Honestly, I really didn't. I thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, but I thought it'd be closer. To me, I'm happy about this because this was one of the first times that. And Atalanta has done this, like I think 2 years ago, where they started off not that great, and then the second half they started to put it together. And this was like the first game this year where I felt like every time they were kind of getting dangerous, they put the ball in the back of the net, and it was coming from all different places.
Yeah.
And I think I even saw like Gasparini smile at one point because he was like, "Oh, here's where it is. Like we actually can score some goals, and we're not."
Yeah. This is the one game where, as you're watching it, you're like, okay, they got 2, another one's coming. They got 3, another one's coming. They were just in that mode where it's like they're not going to stop. They're just going to go, go, go. That's how like well-oiled a machine they were. And Sassuolo was terrible.
Their defense stinks anyway.
Yeah, their defense is atrocious. I don't care if they let up the fourth least amount of goals in the entire. They have a shitty defense. Like they're not good.
Dude, they played bad. Did they even touch the ball? Like Caputo watched the ball.
I was going to mention that to you.
Yeah.
Caputo barely touched the ball, right? I mean,
he didn't. I was actually disappointed. I was like, I expected Sassuolo to play a little bit more, right? To like not have the bulk of the possession, but at least like, damn, come out of the back and get like Atalanta was just like owning it.
It's funny because Sassuolo had the first chance of the game, I believe.
Are those possession stats correct? 54% for Sassuolo.
Yeah, they play a possession game, but they didn't do anything with the ball. They always need possession.
I don't think they passed half field for a lot of the game.
Yeah, the thing that stands out to me is people say buy Locatelli, buy Locatelli, buy Locatelli. For me, in a big game like this, non-existent. And that's what you have to be careful about when you see these guys that everyone wants to buy. Like when they can't show up in games like this, that scares me. And that's why I was been saying for weeks, I'd buy Ricci for $5 million and save the $40 million on Locatelli.
He's still a good player. He's making some passes that are 40 yards downfield on the guy's foot.
Yes, he has this season. Yeah. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
He's also young. I mean, it's a lot of these guys you talk about as in prospect, right? Like if they stop where they are now, they're not going to be that good. But if they continue to get better, that's kind of where when we talk about a lot of these guys. But yeah, I mean, listen, there's even the player from Genoa that Juventus is rumored to be trying to get. That's a good grab if they don't pay that much money for him. I mean, he's a decent player. Yeah, he's a decent player for his age and what he's shown on Genoa. I could see him being pretty good.
So, I mean, since you brought that up, Ravello was mentioned signing for Juventus, but also maybe in like a swap deal for Portanova, which, I mean, Portanova is nothing special. So
the only reason they would do that is to get something back from him, right? Because his contract's up in 6 months anyway.
Pretty much. Yeah, I mean, he's not going to sign with Genoa. So
exactly.
I guess Genoa is just trying to get something. But I think even with that, he would get loaned back out to Genoa and stay over there.
Yeah,
which is fine.
He's not playing the season, but those are the signings that Frank's talking about, like building for the future, guys who have promise and guys who have potential. Like
speaking of that,
so they've done that. The problem is, okay, it's a great move. You get him, you loan him back to Genoa. Next year, maybe you'll loan him out to another team. He'll play good again, and then they'll still never bring him. That's what they've done. That's the problem.
Well, yes. I mean, they're not like Atalanta that will grow these players and actually let them play once they're eligible and ready to play. Like Pessina loaned out for a few years. Pessina is now a staple in their lineup.
Right. So speaking of him, I read something today. I don't know if it's true, but apparently I think Milan has a buyback or a clause in there where they can buy him for 50% of whatever anyone else wants.
Really?
Which would be nice if that's true.
I don't see him playing in Milan's midfield anyway, so I don't think that's going to happen.
Would be nice. Why do you want him to go to Milan for 50%?
No, I mean that's a good get for them. I'm saying, not for Atalanta.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parola's saying Ravel will be 6 months, will be with us, and that's good. Yeah, exactly. Like he's not going to play this season, obviously. Next season, maybe.
No, but I mean, are you sure he's going to be here next year too? I mean, Juventus has done that before, and then they send him away.
Yeah, I mean, Pellegrini's been on the team for 2 years, and he hasn't played 1 minute for him. So, those are the kind of moves where, like, yes, I love that they got Pellegrini, but can we get him on the field? I don't need to see Sandro over there. So
why do they hate him so much? I don't let him play a little.
I don't know.
Pellegrini.
Well, they obviously think he's not ready. Anyway, back to this game.
Bonucci.
Gosens with another goal. I mean, what is he? Does he almost have 10 goals already? Like as a fullback to have almost 10 goals before the half?
I don't know if he's that many. I was thinking more like 6 or 7.
No, I think he's closer to like 8 or 9. He's got tons anyway, and he's playing center forward half the time. Like he's just up there in the middle of the 6. Like, oh, I'm going to put this in. Like, it's just you don't see that at all from fullbacks.
Well, Hateboer played a good game, and when Hateboer and Gosens play, like at a higher level, it's really hard to stop on the lawn because then their players have more room. They can play on the ball more. Fruler played good. Like they played decent.
And we said it before with Atalanta's conditioning. They are the best conditioned team in the league. Nobody can with them. They have the best.
Yeah, this year they haven't showed that as much as last year. Like, hopefully they're starting to hit that extra gear because that will make a difference.
Well, I think that Gosens only has 4 goals. I thought he had way more than that. Maybe he's got some Champions League goals. He might have Champions League goals. I feel like he scores every game. It's insane. Well, he's going to have over 10 probably before the season's over.
Still, even 4 for a defender, typically that's good for a whole year.
Yeah. I mean, how many fullbacks are there? Yeah.
And not many goals he scores. How many does he create?
Yeah. Oh, exactly. He creates tons of chances.
I mean, let's talk about the best players. Muriel scores every
off the bench again.
He's great. I love the Colombians, I guess.
Yeah, Colombia's got a strong team.
No, I mean, if I was Juventus, I know it'd be hard to do. I would do whatever I could to pay Atalanta to take Gosens.
You're not getting him. He said, he said he's very tempted by going to Germany and playing there. So I think this is Gosens' last team. I think a German team is going to pay huge money for him in the summer. So he's not staying in Italy. If he moves, he's going to Germany.
I'm just telling you what I would try to do if I was Juventus. I'd try to overpay and I'd try to get him.
Okay. What else? Ilicic played. Nothing special, but at least he's getting into the form. He's getting the consistent playing time. Subbed out. They put Miranchuk in. They put some of the other guys. Malinovsky came in. They have so much depth, so many people. But it's good to see Atalanta starting to turn the corner because they're getting just in time for that Champions League, second part of the Champions League, and hopefully they can really come into form. They did sign a fullback, Male. I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but they signed him for about 10 or 15 million. 10 or 15 million. Everything that you read about the kid, 23-year-old fullback, I believe right fullback. Very good, very fast, good with the ball. Maybe the next Hattabor. Who knows? But
again, that's my Atalanta bias. I'm assuming he's going to be good. Just because
for sure. And I think he's going to come, and I think he's going to play straight away. I don't think he's planning on sitting or doing anything like that.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. It's always two aspects, right? When you're getting a young, unknown guy, it's about identifying him before anybody else, and that's tricky. And then having the conviction to be even though this guy's not a big name, we're gonna get him, and we believe in him. So that's the hard test. But then don't forget the third part. It's okay, he's here. He's gonna fit into the actual team. We're gonna play him and develop.
Parola's wish list there. That would be nice. Goes into Donnarumma.
That'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's how we improve the team.
Yeah,
we still need midfielders, but the thing is about Gosens is he's a defender, but he attacks, but he also takes pressure off the midfield because the work rate that he does, he puts so much pressure on the other team to open up wide, to mark him, to win he helps win balls in the midfield. He just counts for two people.
Yes, where Sandro barely counts as one person.
Yeah.
Barely. So no, I mean we're all on the same page with him. And Darun and Freuler, they don't get enough props. They're so solid in the midfield.
They're solid.
Yeah, it's.
I agree with
you
that.
Really can't complain about those two, and they play so much too. They play every game.
I'll even go further. If you looked at Freuler and Darun this year, in terms of consistency as a pairing over the last 2 years, who's been more consistent, them two,
and Kessier?
Well, no, I'm talking about Juventus or Bentancur and Arthur.
Obviously they've been better. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so I'm agreeing with you. I don't think they get enough props.
Yeah, totally. They're just kind of unsung heroes that do so much covering for those defenders who do make awful plays or make, Gasperini likes those central defenders to keep making those runs down the center of the field. And then who's covering? Darun was always back there covering. Freuler's always back there covering. Those guys just don't get enough credit.
They do the work, and they're not. And Parolo throw in Auer as his midfield choice, which I agree with. That's a good wish list. If we can get them three guys, that would be
exciting. $60 million over there.
All right, as far as Sassuolo, I was
disappointed
a few weeks ago when they come up against big teams, they don't show up a lot of the times. They had literally no offense. I don't remember Caputo touching the ball at all, and their defense is their biggest Achilles heel. Kitikesh is terrible. I don't care if he scored a goal; he's awful.
I also don't think Boga did that much. I don't think any of the guys.
Even Berardi. Berardi didn't do anything.
Berardi did not.
Traore's been playing awesome the last few games. That's why he got the start again, and he didn't do anything. So it was just a really disappointing performance by them. Dom, you want to go to the next one? Sure, we'll talk about Inter, my team. This game, just to give you a heads up, Crotone goes up 1-0. I empty my DraftKings bank account and I say, let's go, Inter. Let's win some money. And we won some money. So thank you, Conte. I love you.
You traitor.
Yeah.
I get so mad when I see him celebrating so hard after scoring a goal, tie up 1-1, and he's flipping out. It's dude, calm down. First of all, you're not good. Your team is not good.
I don't even mind that. Like, I like when he gets excited about them scoring. Out of all the things I don't like about him, that's the part I care about the least. I'm like, all right, whatever.
I like to see his fake hair flopping around. I don't mind it, so it's fine.
Listen, they're in trouble if Lukaku's out for a while. Just to give you a heads up.
Yeah, so Lukaku did pull his thigh at the end of the game. He was taken out, and I don't think he's definitely not playing. He's not playing Wednesday. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but Lukaku was insane. Like he only scored one goal, but I don't care. Martinez had the hat trick. Lukaku was by far the best player on the field. Like, Frank, this was a 6:30 in the morning game. I doubt you saw it. I woke up. I was up. I don't sleep, so I was up. I watched the whole game, and Lukaku just dominates defenders, like throwing them to the side. It's like having a center in the NBA playing center forward and just chucking defenders off and sprinting past them, and he's got a killer finishing skill. He's unstoppable.
No, that's been the most surprising thing to me, like with like Zapata and Lukaku, like for an Italian defenders, how easily they're just getting shrugged off like they're little women. Like, what are you doing? Like,
he's so big, it's insane. Nobody's as strong. The only person who has anywhere near the size legs of him is De Ligt. Like, De Ligt's legs are monstrous. You know,
do you think Chiellini would ever get pushed around like that by Lukaku?
No,
or
Chiellini would throw him to the ground and foul him and get a yellow card.
That's what I mean. What happened to defenders that could hold their own? Like, it's pretty pathetic.
Because you can't do that. He does it twice. You get 2 yellow cards and you're out of there.
He's so good. It's not like positioning his body and just knowing where the defender is.
But I mean, Chiellini's played for 20 years. It's not like he gets red card every game, and he battles these big defenders and either keeps them from getting the ball, right, or he makes them feel that they're there. These guys get in there and they toss them around like they're rag.
Well, listen, and that's credit that Conte, you know, he gets credit for that, because they even said in the broadcast, like, his first 3 months of moving to Inter, all he had him do was play with his back to the goal and practice how to shield the ball and how to hold up play. So he gets credit for coaching him on how to do that.
That's his style. That's how he plays. You know,
yes, he improved him so much.
Yeah, for sure. You have to, but you know, you can't teach size. He's freaking huge.
No, he was built like a linebacker, and he's playing center forward. It's insane. So yeah, Luperto got killed during the game. Like, they subbed him out. He just couldn't take it anymore. It was insane. Like, he was just getting beat up. Even Zanolato, who scored the goal, like, he was getting beat up by like nobody. Like, you can't just have one person guarding him. He will throw you to the side and go past.
Okay, so let's, first of all, I don't believe in that, but okay, let's just say he's going to beat you physically, right? Then as a coach, if you know your guy's weak and he can't stand up one-on-one, then why aren't you sewing the defense to keep him from receiving the ball with 2 people, one in front, one behind?
Yeah,
like these guys let him stand there and go, "Oh, I'm gonna hold you off and do what I want, and then throw you to the floor and then score." Like, it's like, are you kidding? Like, keep him from getting the ball. Then
defensively, yeah, you can make adjustments and you can try to counter that. I'm just saying, on a one-on-one for someone, it's very difficult to stop.
Exactly. Okay, so if you know that, don't put your situation to be one-on-one with the guy that.
Okay, but you also have to look at who he can drop the ball off to. He can throw it to Hakimi on the side. He can give it to Martinez. Like, you have to account for the entire team as well. Like, Inter has a solid lineup.
You're right, but the first thing I would do is that'd be my game plan, is to phase him out of the game. That we're trying to, at least, would be,
because a lot of their movement doesn't happen if it's not off of Lukaku. Like, if he's not able to like knock the ball off to other people, these other guys don't get involved as much. So like, if he's going to dominate your defender, like, keep someone else in front of him. Don't let him touch a ball and go, okay, like, we're going to worry about these other people secondary. I don't know. Yeah. I just don't put a guy there one-on-one. If you're going to, you know, be like the wind, he's going to sneeze and fart you out of bounds. Like, then you're not doing anything.
And your guy Morone, Frank, you put him on your team. What an awful game he had. Jesus, oh my God. Their whole defense had an awful game, but he played terribly too. On Inter side, Vidal played awful in the first half, got subbed out. He caused a penalty. You know, he was just, you know, the cause of the goal. He played awful, and the coach saw that and said, "Listen, you're going out." And we saw Sensi come in, which he hasn't played in a while. And Sensi was for the limited time he played last year was fantastic. So if they can get Sensi
Listen,
back,
I would take Sensi right now. If Inter was stupid enough to sell him, I would take him right now and put him in the group of our midfielders.
I would take Sensi too.
I don't understand the love for Vidal and Brozovic and Gagliardini over Sensi. What's the deal? Why is he hating so much?
Actually, that was a big loss by Sassuolo too. Selling Sensi.
For sure.
Yeah.
And Paolo agrees with me that you need to put someone in front of Lukaku to keep him, restrict service to him.
Really quick,
for sure.
Going back to Sassuolo, you think they'd be a little better with Demiral instead of Kitikesh?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, but you have to understand, Demiral was never really theirs. Like you can't say.
I know. I'm just
Demiral, saying. They had a deal with Juventus. It wasn't like he's going to be there forever.
When's he coming back, by the way? Because that's what our defense needs is Demiral.
So talk about that. He's ready. There's rumors that he wants to leave because he's not playing.
Oh, good.
So
they
better start playing.
Seriously, you want to fix the defense? Delit and Demiral. That's what it has to be. Like,
but realistically, he's probably the fourth or fifth option on the team. Like Danilo will get time in the center before him. And
that's the coach's fault. The best defense that they have is with Demiral and Delit in the middle. It just is.
I don't feel bad for him. We always go back to talking to Juventus somehow, but stay healthy and then you can play. I'm sick of him. Stay healthy for more than a month, please. Stay healthy.
We were just talking about Lukaku, right? Well, guess what? Demiral is the type of defender. If you're playing with Lukaku, he's not getting pushed around like a rag doll.
Yeah, and he's also capable of getting 2 yellow cards versus him very quickly.
He is.
Yeah.
At least Lukaku's going to know he's there.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, for sure. I mean, he's the type of defender you want on him. Delit or Demiral. I don't want Bonucci anywhere near Lukaku. He'll beat him up.
And here's the deal: if Chiellini is coming to the end, and they're not going to build up someone like Demiral, who are we going to have? Those defenders don't grow on trees, as you can.
Lugano's coming back eventually.
I forgot about him.
Yeah. Martinez had a hat trick, his first ever hat trick for Inter. Hakimi scored a late goal. Morone scored an awesome goal for Inter. I just like making fun of Frankie's team that he picked last week.
Listen, my team rules. What did Pirlo say? That Pirlo has anticipated that event?
Which event? I don't know which one he's talking about. Oh, he's anticipated maybe Chiellini retiring and Demiral moving in. I don't know.
Then why isn't he playing him? I don't know. Sell Bonucci. If Chiellini's gone, you got to get rid of Bonucci.
Yeah, I mean, there's that loyalty there. I don't know why, but there's
don't keep the crappiest member of the BBC.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Bonucci wasn't really loyal when he ran off to Milan. Why do you have to be so loyal to him?
Demiral. Dominic asked who will play for Bonucci. Demiral.
No, who will pay for Bonucci? What teams
will pay for him? Nobody. You make it $8 million, $10 million for him.
You have to pay for half his contract, the remaining, contract.
Send him to Man City when you go.
Atalanta might take him if we can for $5 million.
Are you kidding me?
Put him with Romero.
I will hate Atalanta. If he ever went there, that would be
not going anywhere, dude. He's not going anywhere.
He's not
going. All right, Dom, go to the next game. I don't know. Do we have another game?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, 2-0. Milan over Benevento. Parola said last week, watch out, Benevento's going to win. This is his upset special.
So they stole points here, by the way.
They could have because of the situation. Tonali, did you watch this game, Frank?
I saw parts of it.
Chris, you watched it, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Was Tonali COVID positive before this game? Jesus Christ.
So before the red card, he was playing awful. He's been playing
terrible.
He was playing terrible, and then he goes in on this late tackle and a deserved red card. I know our producer Dom never thinks a red card's a red card. This was again 100% a red card. So Milan's down to 10 men. They have to substitute out Diaz, and they put in Krunic to replace him. But Benevento, you see 25 shots. They had tons of chances.
Missed the penalty shot,
which I forgot to put up there.
So I actually thought Benevento had a chance to steal a point. I think that was my prediction last week.
Yeah.
So I was kind of bummed here. And I will also admit, I'll call it out when I'm wrong. Like, I am really surprised with what a tough year Tonali's having. I mean, it could just be adjusting to the new team, but he's really, I'm like, did not expect that.
So it sucks as an Italy fan. I'm like, dude, this is your future here, right? And he's been so bad. It's so upsetting.
Listen,
look, there you go. Parolo put in the the team that
the formation he wants.
Yeah, Buffon, Quadrado, Demiral, Delit, and Danilo. That's the best defense. Congrats.
You're not getting that. You're not getting that at all.
Well, that doesn't mean we have to agree with Pirlo. Isn't that why we do this show? I'm just telling you, if you want to make your team better, play those guys. I mean, end the story. Like, that's just what it takes.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of those people that he put on there.
Yeah, I agree.
But anyway, sorry, I took us off track. Let's go back.
Going back to this. I'm not ready to give up on Tonali. I know he's had a terrible season. Even last year for Brace, I wasn't that impressed for him. Overall for the entire season, but he played better than he's playing right now. I think there's a lot of pressure on him being a Milan fan growing up and, going to the team that he loved, and it was a big money move. Like, there's tons of pressure on a teenage kid to go and have to deal with that. So
the part that I've been shocked with, it's like it's affected like the parts of his game that were like strong, like passing the ball.
His passing's been awful.
It's been horrible. And I'm like, dude, certain things, like, you may not get right into the heart of the team and it might take you a while, but like when your whole game tanks on basic
exactly. What has he impressed you with this year? His passing, he passes the ball across the field, to start running the other way because it's going back the other way. Like, physicality, like his defensive, like he's got that reputation of being like Gattuso, that was his idol, of being defensive, grinding out. But like, I haven't even seen all that much, defensively either. So I just, obviously no one's
just an off year. Yeah, it's just an off year for him.
I'm not writing him off. He's still fantastic, and I think he's going to be great for Italy for the next 15 years. But he's just been really, really bad. Donnarumma had a nice save. Milan got another penalty shot. I feel like they get penalty shots every week. They get a lot. And then Leao scored another one.
Who's eating the mic?
I think that's our producer eating his mic.
Well, last week, didn't he like make himself a sandwich or something? The microwave?
Yeah, he was making popcorn last week. But yeah, this was big because at this time, Inter had won and they had taken the lead, so Milan had that pressure of, we got to stay on top, So they got, again, a game last year or in the previous years, they wouldn't have won this game.
Yeah,
they would have tied it.
Slowly but surely, I mean, they're linking the wins together, right? They're staying on top, so eventually you start to believe your own hype.
Yeah, and of all of the teams that are playing the season, like they feel like the most connected team, like the most together team, the team that plays the most for one another than any other team that I see. Like, they definitely like each other and they like the coach, and you can tell, like, when someone scores, everyone's jumping up and down. Everyone's happy for everyone.
So the funny thing is like, this team's pretty young. Besides Ibra, like, it's pretty young.
Youngest team in the league.
Playing well, and they have this togetherness. We'll see how they react after their first loss. Hopefully, it's Wednesday versus Juventus.
But you know what, Chris? We've been saying that for months. Let's see how they react after the first loss. They haven't lost. It hasn't happened. So
but his point is real though, right? Like, if you don't lose, then they'll win the championship, right? But eventually they're going to lose, and it's like, do you stop that at one loss and you win another 10 in a row, or does one become two ties out of 7 games, right? Like, that's really where you have to see what happens.
It's gonna happen Wednesday, right, Parola? First loss. So Ibra's back at training, so he might be a go for Wednesday. I don't think Benacer's. I don't know. He's back at training. I don't know if he's gonna be back. But I don't think Benacer is going to be back. There's no Tonali because he got the red card, so the midfield might be a little, Kessié and Krunic probably, but they still have enough. They didn't even play Theo Hernandez. Maybe they're resting him for Juventus. But solid performance, solid. They got the 3 points. Can't ask for more than that.
Yeah, Leao had a nice goal.
You said something during the game to me. You're like, I'd sell Leao as soon as possible. I'd get as much money as possible for him.
I would definitely sell him at a high for sure. I don't think there's other players I'd rather have.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he has that striker's, killer instinct around the net.
I consider him more of like a wide player. Attack. And I don't want him to be my number 9.
Well, and that's what he had to play this week, which isn't his role. So, all right, Dom, do we have any other games? No, Kim is there. Wow, we have lady producer Kim.
That explains the food noises.
She was eating something, obviously. Kim, do you know how to change screens? Okay, can you bring up the results for the entire rest of the games? Sure.
Look at this. I think we should fire him.
I mean, this is our audition, so you can make it bigger if you want. I just like putting her to work. There you go.
She's taking Dom's job.
Okay. Let's just run down the rest of the games real quick. We talked about Inter. Rome got 1-0 win. That game was in pouring rain, terrible weather. Chris and I were watching it. At the end of the game, Karsdorp, right? That's how you say it, Chris?
Yeah, he had a very nice play.
Yeah, he's been playing really well at right fullback for Roma lately, and he had a nice play. He got the assist to Dzeko, and they won 1-0.
That was a great finish. Not easy to do. He made it look easy. That was very nice.
In the rain too. It was a very difficult play. Rome stays in top 3. We talked about Atalanta. Napoli. This game I didn't make a card for. I kind of wanted to, but I ran out of time. Very good performance for them. Zielinski has been, I mentioned it the past few weeks, Zielinski's been awesome the last few weeks, and he had another 2 goals this week. They got back to the winning ways. Very good for them. All the top teams pretty much won, except for Lazio. A tie to Genoa nowadays is not good. And you're trying to keep on par with the rest of the teams. You can't be tying 1-1 to Genoa. Immobile got another penalty shot. It seemed like they always get penalty shots too. But then Genoa tied it up. So they dropped some points. Bologna. Fiorentina did not have one shot the entire game. We talk about
well, they were still riding high from beating Juventus 3-0.
Listen. Yeah, you can't. They still got a point. They're getting points every game. They down at the standings.
Did you see that rumor that Kwame might leave?
No,
really?
I'll kill them. Where's he going?
Oh, there was a rumor. I think Torino wants him.
Oh, as long as he stays in Italy, I'm fine.
Oh, it was Torino and another team in a different country. I forget which. So I think it was an English team. Oh, I don't know. He's not really playing a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't play a lot, and he hasn't been playing well, to be fair.
I mean, he was clearly dangerous in a lot of games. He just didn't put them away. He's more dangerous than most of their team.
You have to remember, he's also coming off an ACL injury. These people get rushed back so quickly. To get at least get a full year from your surgery date. Can we get some time before people just ride these people off they're done for their career? Those injuries are terrible and are very hard to go through. So I'm not lost faith in it. If he goes to another Italian team, I'll be happy. I'll root for him over there. Torino did kill Parm 3-0. Another 3 points for them, which is much needed.
Verona got their points, which was important.
Verona did get their points, and Zaccagni scored probably the goal of 2021 already.
No. Oh, 2021.
Did you see the goal?
The bicycle kick?
Yeah, he's fantastic. He should be bought.
2021 meaning because it's only been 4 days, right?
Yes, but it also might hold up for the goal of the entire 2021.
It was nice. It was a nice goal. It's not going to hold up for the whole year.
For those who didn't see it, it was a cross from the right side. He chests it down, or he chests it, pops it up to himself, does a bicycle kick, and it's perfectly on the side, side of the net. Perfect shot.
It's Parola meaning to say pure luck or poor luck, because that was not pure luck. That was skill.
Pure luck?
No, Zaccagni. I think Parolo hates Zaccagni. He's
I don't know why. Why does he hate him?
I don't know. If he was on Juventus, he'd be saying he was good.
His player, Farioli, that he loves, crossed the ball over. I'm giving him credit for a good cross, but the chest and the finish was fantastic. Probably the goal of the 2021, and it was 1 day old, the season.
Yes, up to this point, it may be up there in the top 3 goals for 2020.
Maroni had a nice finish too.
That's right.
All right, Benevento, Milan, we talked about. Juventus, Udinese, we talked about. Do we want to go to player of the weeks? I don't know if Dom or Tim are there.
Sure.
So, Chris, talk about yours. Who'd you pick?
I mean, so we already talked about it, obviously. I mean, we talked about all these guys, but I mean, Zapata finally putting some goals away. But he does so much more than just scoring for that team. And he's a bully, and he's great. And I wish Juventus had him.
Do you though? You wish Juventus really had him? I mean, yeah.
Dude, he's so good. He's so I think he's underrated.
Okay. Frankie goes with his patented any player in a Juventus game. That's who he picks for player of the week.
Well, listen. The funny thing is, me. I go out of my way to find a reason not to give Ronaldo player of the game a lot of times. But yeah, because it's the obvious choice. A lot of times it's pretty boring. But I mean, look, he scored his 2 goals. He scored the first goal. He had that nice pass to Chiesa for the assist. And you know what? The guy just wants to win. He wants to score. Like he just wants to keep adding to his tally. Yeah. So
he's got one mission and he does it well. You can't complain about him.
I wanted to give it.
Go ahead.
I wanted to give it to Dybala just because he finally got a goal, but he didn't do enough to overtake it. So I gave it to Ronaldo.
You can't really give it to him. He was really non-existent or nothing special. I picked Lukaku. I've come to the fact that I think I'm a closeted Inter fan. I've picked Barella. I've picked Hakimi. I've picked Lukaku. I don't know why I keep picking Inter players.
This podcast.
But yeah, I might have to. I mean, I don't know. But I should have picked Zelensky going back on it. If you saw the game, you saw the highlights, he was great and he's playing really, really well. So really, I'm going to say I put Lukaku, but Zelensky was my player of the week. He was great this week.
Wait, so you put Lukaku, but Zelensky's
now that I'm thinking about it, like, too many Inter players I pick.
Too late. Too late. You and Uncle Roy, the new Inter fans.
Hell yeah. And Lautaro was not my player of the week. I don't care if he scored a hat trick. He was not as important as Lukaku.
He never is.
He never is. He's never as important. Let's go to
sure you don't want to pick Bonucci?
Let's go to the standings, Kim. Also, Kim, are you free Monday nights at 9 from now on?
I wish the podcast could hear her laughing like an idiot.
Yeah,
we should just make her mic live.
All right. Standings. I mean, is this enough time now for you guys to actually start thinking? I bring up the standings every week. You go, it's too early. It's too early. It's too early. Is this enough time now for you guys to start actually looking at it and paying attention and being worried?
It's still early.
I don't know, man. If they lose Wednesday versus Milan, yes, you're in
that's
trouble.
a problem.
100%.
But here's the thing. This is why I say it's still early. If they go and beat Milan, they have the extra game in hand. I mean, you take 6 points right off, right? If they win both those, so it's in their own fate, and that's why I say it's early. It's not but they have to start moving. To your point, right? Like you can't have the same second half as you had the first half.
I do think if they lose, they're in trouble. I really do.
Are any of you bold enough to say if they lose this game on Wednesday, they are not winning the title?
I would.
Yeah, you would make that claim that they do not win on Wednesday and they are out of it.
There's too many good teams, man. It's gonna be tough.
I don't know that I'm ready to say that. I wouldn't say Inter twice. They have another game against Milan. They haven't played Napoli twice. There's still tons and tons of games. I wouldn't say that they were out of it, but if you're bold enough to make that claim, okay.
Listen, all these head-to-head games though, they count for 6 points.
Yeah.
Right. Like all versus everyone in front of you at this point, like. You have to win because it's a 6-point swing.
Yeah, but these aren't scrub teams in front of them.
No, and that's why I said if they win number 10, it's going to probably be the most enjoyable one in a long time because they're going to have to really work their butts off for it.
For sure, this is going to be the one that's like we did it, like this, we deserved it,
And honestly, I haven't seen enough. To be honest, as a Juventus fan, I haven't seen enough to say they deserve to win up to the first half of the season. I haven't seen enough.
They're not in the Champions League. They don't deserve to be in the Champions League. They're not playing well.
I'm not an Inter fan. I can admit when we suck.
And Inter's won 8 in a row, and to me, Inter's the team you have to worry about, not Milan. So this game, yes, it's a 6-point swing. But the team in second place is the one I'm worried about, not the team in first place. Personally,
a lot can happen. All depends. Is Lukaku out for weeks or one game? Right? Like if he's out for weeks, I don't think they're making top four.
And you know what's the funny part is they don't have a backup forward. Like you see Perisic going in for them. They're in talks with bringing back Eder, who's been playing in China. Are you kidding me? That's going to be your resort. Is we're going to sign Eder. You're lost without Lukaku. They are lost, and they have no chance of winning anything.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll make a bold prediction. If Atalanta can win another game in a row, I predict they end up ahead of Napoli and Rome by the end.
It's possible. Like I said, there is a lot of time. You're right. There is a lot of time left in the season. But if you look at the left side of the table, tons of all of the teams on the left side pretty much won, except for Sassuolo or Lazio and Benevento too, but I don't count them.
Good for them though.
Yeah, 10th place. That's awesome for them.
Fantastic. Are you kidding me?
And then if you look on the right side, Torino moved out of the bottom three. Spezia, which upsets me, goes into the bottom three. But you're seeing, Fiorentina picking up points every week now, which is good for them.
Get out of here with that, man.
They still, I don't know. I like them. So there's that. Kim, do you have a week 16 schedule? Yeah, we're good.
Is producer Dom in the toilet?
Yeah.
Well, at least good news is we have a producer available for another show at 9:00. He's available.
By the way, Parola picked a 3-1 victory for Juventus over Milan. So let's start with that game.
Wait, before we pick this, do we have at all know where we stand with this contest we do every week?
I don't know if producer Kim has it. That's our fault though, not hers.
All right, we might need to maybe next week we'll just update, see where we are. I know we're all doing horrible.
Yeah, we are all doing awful.
But I'm just curious.
So since Parola picked 3-1, I'm going to go with that game as my pick
Which game?
The Juventus game. So he picked 3-1. I'm going to pick – I really don't know where to go with this game. I'm going to say 2-1 Juventus.
That's exactly what I was going to say. 2-1 Juventus.
I've seen Donnarumma make some dumb plays against Juventus. Maybe he has a ball, cough up in the middle on a corner like he did in the Italian Cup a few years ago. And, I'm just hoping for some stupid plays or, maybe they just don't play as well. I need 3 points.
That's my problem with it. Like, I'm going to say 2-1 Juventus too. And honestly, that's just coming from a pure Juventus fan and the fact that hoping Juventus's pedigree wins out to Milan just screwing the pooch, but not based on what we've seen on the field, right? My hunch tells me it'd most likely be a tie, but I'm going to go 2-1 Juventus.
And at the time of this, we don't know the lineups. We don't think Ibra's going to play, but if he were going to play, that's terrible news for Bonucci because he will manhandle Bonucci.
Actually, Bonucci, believe it or not, hasn't done that bad notoriously versus Ibra. Like in past battles, he's actually played decent in those games.
Well, if I had to bet on one of them, I'd bet on Zlatan.
Yeah.
No Morata, I think, really hurts Juventus. That's not good for them. They don't have a backup center forward. Unless you're putting Ronaldo there, which isn't his position. It's the one player that's very difficult to substitute for Juventus. That's the one position where it's tough for them to pick. Parolo's just picking his own games over here.
Well, shocker, he picked Sam first Inter.
All right, so you guys pick a game each.
I'm actually going to say Lukaku's not playing. I'm going to pick this Inter Sam game. I'm going to say 1-1.
And you're basing that off of what?
Lukaku, 100%.
No Lukaku?
Yep.
3 days rest? You think they're going to fall flat? And
1-1.
I'm going to say 2-1 Sampdoria, right? Because of Ranieri over Conte.
You guys are ridiculous. Samp is a hard team to play against for some of the bigger teams, so I'm going to go draw 2-2, actually. I could see Inter dropping points.
All right, Frank, you got a game to pick. Not that many good games, by the way, this week.
Yeah, I was actually I'm going to go Torino, Hells-Verona, and I'm going to say 2-1 Hells-Verona.
They did get Barak back. Kalinic is back. They're starting to get some of their players back.
Sakani might even score again.
He might have another bicycle kick.
I'm gonna say 2-0 Verona.
2-0. I'm gonna say tie 2-2.
You think Torino's gonna score 2 goals?
Yeah, Torino's playing better.
Yeah.
And they're home. I mean, I know there's no fans, but that kind of
anything.
Whatever. They're desperate. They need wins. They're gonna fire their coach. Like they need points.
Parolo, you got a pick for this one? Torino and Hellas Verona? Let us know in the chat.
Hellas Verona plays up to their competition and down to their competition. You're never going to see them blow out the bad teams, and you're never going to see them get blown out by the good teams. They meet the level of who they're playing against.
Well, their coach is great, so we'll see.
All right. I don't know if Parolo's got any other predictions. There are more games on this weekend. But, I mean, it's crazy with the amount of games that they have. We do have a round 17 schedule. I don't know. Dom floated the idea of doing another podcast after these games on Wednesday. I don't know if we'll have time, or I know Frankie's got a busy schedule. So these are the games for round 17, which is this weekend, which are better games. Yeah, there's better games, I think, in this this crop of games. So maybe we'll come back and we'll have reactions to like the Juventus Milan game. I don't know. We can't promise you guys.
Maybe we just roll out like 10 shorts picking the games.
Yeah, maybe we can do some shorts on reactions to the games and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. We'll see, but it sucks with the midweek games because it's hard.
It's kind of crazy. Yeah.
And Juventus has 8 games the month of January, so it's going to keep coming.
Can they just forfeit the Italian Cup? Just be like, go ahead.
It might be the only thing they win this year. You never know.
Yeah, really. All right, you guys have anything else to?
That's it.
say?
Make sure you guys subscribe, come back
Twitter.
next week.
Chris, do you want to mention your side project that might be coming out?
So quick side project. We're trying to set it up. We're trying to get a Twitch stream going.
What's Twitch?
You stream stuff.
He's adorable.
So we're trying to get it set up, and the plan is to start a new Football Manager 21 save with me and Dan.
Oh wait, that sounds fun. Why am I not? I don't have time.
Yeah, so we're thinking about streaming it where we'll be talking to each other in Discord. We'll start from scratch. We'll pick a team.
So we're trying to decide: are we going to pick Serie A teams? Or are we going to go start in the third division?
I think you have to pick Serie A teams, and we incorporate it into this podcast with updates.
We could do that. Yeah, that would be fun to do.
That way we can follow the teams and.
Anyway, I'm going to try to mess around with it a little bit tomorrow. Maybe do some test streams or something. But the name is Tifosi Time. There's no space.
Yeah, Twitch channel.
So I don't know. Check it out. We'll keep you updated. We'll see how.
We are all over the internet. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitter. We're on Twitch. We're on Reddit. You can't stop us. We're a machine that is just going full force right at you. Even if you don't want to see it, we're here.
We have one platform for each subscriber.
So anyway, me and Dan, when we play this game, we go hard. So it's like we're gonna play.
I'm more than that.
I'm thinking at least honestly 3 days a week, at least 3 hours a day.
Yeah, maybe streaming 3 days a week, 3 hours a day.
Yeah, that's why I came part of it. That sounds like must-watch TV. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have to watch.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna try to organize it. I made the channel and stuff today. We're gonna try to organize it, get some overlays and things like that for tomorrow.
Good stuff.
Yeah, see how it goes.
All right, I think that's it. Enjoy the games on Wednesday. We'll be working, so Frankie and I will have to catch a lot of highlights.
I'm God for ESPN Plus.
I don't have.
You work from home, though. It's different.
Yeah.
Is it too early in the year to take a day off?
I don't know, honestly.
For those of you watching this later, it's actually the first day of work in 2021. So yes, it is.
All right, take it easy. We'll see you either this week or next Monday. We'll see, right?
Yeah. Stay tuned. Just come back every day and see if we're doing something.
Check that Twitter.
All right. Adios, people. Let's go, Juve. one of our best shows.